Hello everybody, it is a balmy February day in Nebraska. Here in Chadron it is 63 degrees. Amazing. However, just like every beautiful day, the wind has picked up, so we just got to deal with it. We are going to explore my town, Nebraska, in these episodes. First, we're going to start with this fixture that's been on the Kenwood side of Chadron for a long time. A lot of people have wondered what it looks like inside. We're going to take a look today. First, we're going to start with the outside. I am looking into donating it to the Dawes County Museum. And first we have to track down the history of it. I don't know much. In fact, I don't know anything because I am not a Chadron native. So I'm hoping you Chadron natives can help us figure out what this building was originally. So that is the back side of the house. We're going to go over here to the side, and a couple of dormers there. That small dormer goes over a staircase. There's lots of doors on this house. Pictures. The hand tool molding up there. The heavy blast of winds over the last month has torn up some of the metal on the side of this. The whole thing needs a new roof anyway, right? Another dormer there. Lots of dormers. Gives you an idea of what is in the attic or the upstairs. Okay, over here we've got actually two more doors. I don't know why there's two doors right there. They lead to the same spot. Let's take a look at the framing down there. That's the only questionable spot as far as the sturdiness of the house. I have not seen any indication of the frame being rotten. Overall, along with my friends who are contractors, check out Roden Construction, by the way. The house is pretty sturdy. So let's go take a look inside. Okay, everybody wanted to know what was in it. Well, this has been used as rental storage for a very long time. I have heard rumors of who had it before Doc Penor. I don't know how long it's been used for rental storage. Has a lot of furniture probably from rentals that were left abandoned. One thing I've definitely noticed is that there is a lot of porcelain stored in this house. Lath and plaster, obviously. Most of it is rotten. And of course, the electrical all needs to be updated. I don't know how old the electrical is, but I'm pretty sure none of it is good. What I really love is the wood. Now, when I was thinking about refurbishing this house, and there's that molding, I was thinking about turning this room into my library room. And the reason for that is, one, very high ceilings. That's the old furnace grating. And two, behind the walls is space. Lots of space. Nobody needs a closet that tall. The idea would have been to knock that out, turn that into bookshelves, and also up here. You notice we have an odd confab here. We have two doorways, base, and space again. So knock that out. More bookcases. Now this is the room I've been storing my books in. And it goes way back. So this entire room is basically filled about 4 feet, almost 4 feet tall with books. And like I said, porcelain is a theme in this house. Lots of signs, lots of building material, lots of doors, lots of windows and window screens. I am not sure if any of those doors are original to this house. More books. And then there's a looks like Brothers Ice Cream sign back there. Very old sign. More building material, more doors. Brothers Ice Cream, there's the back of the sign. More windows, piping, and again, really high ceilings. And this is the other doorway. I'm not sure if this was an addition. I don't know. Maybe they just dropped the ceiling for, I don't know, reasons. Lots of writing on door frames. This is the book graveyard. It makes me sad. Makes me very, very sad. There might be some salvageable ones in there. This was a bathroom. Maybe possibly a laundry room as well. And pretty sure this was the kitchen. Counter right there. You can see places where the piping went through. Glass, building material, windows, stuff. So, getting upstairs is a little bit of a chore. Here we go. Luckily, this serves as a bridge. Too bad it's not the bridge to Terabithia. I'd rather go across that. So, there used to be, before this house was relocated, and there's definite signs that it was relocated, there used to be a basement. Somebody put this gate in, so nobody would go down there, I guess. I guess before renovations were made, there was a doorway there. Here's a doorway. That's the one on the side of the house, hanging in the air. Might have possibly been another door, or just a barn door. I'm not sure. Not sure about that at all. Anyway, so here's our first dormer over the stairs. This is where most of the rot is. All the lath and plaster falling apart. There are some holes in the roof. We've got some evidence of varmints. And we got plumbing. And somewhat modern electricity. Okay, and again, here we go. The theme of porcelain. Not very high ceilings up here. Now, if they'd actually planned to make it 2 floors to begin with, I believe the upstairs was fabbed as an addition. So this is the back of the house. There are bats that live in this roof. So logistics of moving it, I don't think they're living there right now. I have not seen any indication that they're in here. Hopefully they've moved on, but we'll see come summer. All right, we're gonna follow the hallway. Here we come to the second dormer and the bathroom. Clawfoot tub, sink, and toilet. Oops. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the eaves. There is buku room back here, like oh, you could get a small army in there. Okay, so chimney or vent, whatever it became last. And there was metal roofing over the top. It was blown off a long time ago. I'm not sure how long ago. Here is the dormer on the side of the building, facing the alley. It was fabricated as a bedroom. Very tiny bedroom. A very tiny closet. And then what I can only assume is the master bedroom. And that is the dormer facing the street. And again, not very much headroom up there. The Eagles basketball team would probably need to duck their heads. So, and this is the closet. Now, looking around at the floor, you can definitely see that the bats have been at it in this room. Again, I have not really seen any sign of them, not since my explorations during the summer. So maybe they went somewhere else to winter, and then they'll be back when the warmer weather hits. Who knows? So, all right, everybody, has your curiosity been satisfied? Honestly, it's not haunted. There's no ghosts. But also, even in this wind, and I've been in here when it's been windier, no creaking, no groaning. I've been walking around on this floor just fine. It's pretty sturdy. If it can be rebuilt, I believe the bones are sturdy enough to do that. So, if anybody wants to rescue this old house, I will allow the Historic Society to have first dibs. Wow, that ought to take you back. Circa, all right. Never noticed that one. Okay. Okay, so we got some writing up here. A lot of them have dates. So we got 1975. More measurements. Some writing up here. But like I said, I'm not sure how long it's been sitting and rotten. Evidence that it was a store? Yeah, possibly. Very, very possibly. So that says May 2nd, 1974. Over here, 7/18/50. That's not a date. 1681 is definitely not a valid date. That's a serial number or something. All right. Well, I think that does it for our tour. Hope you guys had fun. Join me next time when I explore my town, Nebraska.